Hello guys, this is Steno for All YouTube channel. Here we provide you Hindi or English shorthand dictations at different speed. Today I am going to provide you English dictation at the speed of 80 which will help you in various Steno skill tests. Get ready for 80 word per minute shorthand dictation. Start. It is reported that the second ministerial meeting of the four countries under the Quad will be held in Japan. Sadly, the person who conceived this idea, Shinzo Abe, has stepped down as the Prime Minister of Japan. Mr. Abe was a strategic thinker who thought beyond the limited time frame of Japanese revolving door politics. In 2007, the Quad, the United States, Japan, India, and Australia, was an idea whose time had not yet come. That was a different world, an evolution. The global financial crisis was still lurking in the shadows as America continued to enjoy its unipolar moment. The American establishment still believed that it could somehow persuade China to become a responsible stakeholder and in any case required Chinese goodwill in dealing with America's priorities, the nuclear issue with North Korea and Iran, and the war on terror. Japan and Australia were riding the China boom to prosperity. If India was ambivalent at the time, it was because this mirrored the uncertainties of others. China's shrill reaction to the idea of four like minded countries establishing a plurilateral platform was prima facie intriguing. The idea was barely on the table. There was no clearly enunciated concept or proposed structures, much less joint understandings. The Chinese, however, labeled it as an Asian version of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It became evident years later that the real reason for China's hyperaction was out of concern that such a grouping would out China's plans for naval expansion by focusing on the Indo-Pacific maritime space. China was hoping that its naval build-up might slip under the radar because the Americans were distracted by continental challenges including Russia, Afghanistan, and Iran and would not look seaward. Once the idea of Quad 1.0 had died down, China gained in confidence to reveal its hand. It advanced a new claim, the Nine Dash Line in the South China Sea. It undertook the rapid kind of warship building activity reminiscent of Wilhelmine Germany before 1914. It built its first overseas base in Djibouti and it started systematically to explore the surface and subsurface environment in the Indian Ocean beyond the
Malacca Straits. This entire activity was coordinated by a central leading small group for protecting maritime rights and interests established in 2012. The manner of China's dismissal of the arbitral award in the dispute with the Philippines on the South China Sea and its brazen militarization of the islands after its president had publicly pronounced to the contrary has once again brought the four countries onto the same page and given a second chance to the Quad, a plurilateral mechanism. The Chinese are skilled at obfuscation. They will perhaps endeavor to conflate the Quad with the Indo Pacific vision and link both to the so called China containment theory. The Quad nations need to better explain that the Indo Pacific vision is an overarching framework that is being discussed in a transparent manner with the objective of advancing everyone's economic and security interests. The Quad, on the other hand, is a plurilateral mechanism between countries that share interest on specific matters. For a country that has been traditionally obsessed with a continental approach to war and peace, India's continental grand strategy is facing an existential crisis today, given that reconciliation with its key adversaries China and Pakistan is unlikely at this point, and pursuing its ambitious territorial claims on the ground is almost impossible. New Delhi's continental options seem restricted to holding operations to prevent further territorial loss. Put differently, New Delhi's grand strategic plans in the continental space may have reached a dead end. State of continental strategy. The current state of India's continental strategies is hardly flattering. China has begun to push the boundaries with India, quite literally so, and Beijing is neither keen on ending the ongoing border stalemate nor reinstating the status quo with India as of March 2020. The peaceful India China line of actual control in the northeast is now a thing of the past, with China pushing back New Delhi's claims on Aksai Chin and New Delhi defending against Beijing's expansive territorial claims and their slow but aggressive implementation. China has crossed the red line with India, and India's LAC with China is not going to be the same ever again. It is the beginning of a long, bitter winter in the Himalayan borders between the two Asian giants. In the northwest, the Pakistan front has also been heating up. Ceasefire violations on the line of control (LOC) have spiked since last year, as has the infiltration of terrorists across the LOC. With the change of the status of Jammu and Kashmir (J&K) by New Delhi in 2019 and Pakistan altering its political map a few months ago to include all of J&K, the India-Pakistan contestation over Kashmir has become fiercer. Equally important is the geopolitical collusion between Islamabad and Beijing to contain and pressure